Welcome back, car people. I hope you're all keeping busy. First off, let me thank all the subscribers, old and new, particularly the new ones, for joining. That really means a lot to me. We're getting up there now, and hopefully you're enjoying my content. So as we're approaching the end of July, it's time for another Forecourt roundup. Time to tell you what's gone out and what's come in. So the first car that went out, Zahira will put a picture up there, I think, or maybe down there. The little Fiat 695 Rivale. Could have probably sold that a few times. Lots of emails on it. One person phoned. He was the guy that bought it. Also sold the Jaguar XJ. The guy actually made contact by email, asked a couple of questions, but then he came, he bought it. The guy on the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Golly, I had so many emails on that car. 18, I think I counted. Is this car still available? What's wrong with it? Have you read the description? No. Well, let me tell you, there was nothing wrong with the car. The car was mechanically really very good. What was wrong with it is that it wasn't up to my standard cosmetically. The guy that bought it, he phoned, he came, he bought it. He looked at it, he realized that how I described it was really accurate, and for what he wanted the car for, it was perfect. So that was another one sold. I did have the blue Z4 in the lineup here this morning, but I've actually just sold that. Zahira's going to put a little clip of that in driving away. Guy came all the way from Aberdeen to buy that car. It was such a lovely example. Guy called Neil, great guy. He just left and he's on his way back up to Bonnie, Scotland. So I hope he enjoys that one. I also did have a guy coming to see this earlier on, so it might be something that we'll put into the edit later on. He's actually been delayed and not coming until 5 o'clock today, but that might be another deal done. That's it for cars going out. As far as cars coming in, just one to show you, a Porsche Cayenne that's being valeted just in the back garden there. But what's been really peculiar, one of the subjects that I wanted to touch on is ghosting. What's that all about? I have had so many ghosters this month, it's incredible. 3 ghosters on the DBS, 2 ghosters on the RSQ3, one of which, who was even fully through finance and documents sent, completely disappeared. 2 ghosters on the Ferrari, and the guy now who is coming, and hopefully I think we're nearly there with a deal subject to his car for part exchange. So any opinions on why people ghost these days? I've got my thoughts to it. Maybe let me get a chair and sit down and we'll have a little chat. So I've been thinking about this, and I think one reason for ghosting is that people just aren't engaged with each other. The websites make this happen a lot, I think, because if you think about the click buttons that say click here to send an email, is this car still available, will you contact me, even though that communication has started and may go backwards and forwards a few times, it's easy for people not to be engaged and just disappear. But when you've actually had some conversation and gone as far as completing forms and finance agreements, that's when I really don't understand it, but would welcome your thoughts on that as well. So another thing I'm proud of is to have received the Autotrader Retailer Awards for the 5th year in a row. However, this year, Autotrader, I'm not very happy with you. I'm surprised that no one else has mentioned this or done a video on it. The awards are largely just a certificate, a sticker that one might put up in their showroom window. Of course, I don't have such a facility, so that's of less use to me, but I am proud to have achieved the recognition of it. But this year, having earned £340 million, Autotrader, you now want traders to pay £6.99 for the privilege of that sticker being posted to you. So I was thinking back to how it used to be in the 70s, 80s. Well, in 1977, a guy called John Majewski started a company called Hearst Publishing, and his business was called the Thames Valley Trader. In fact, it was a national magazine that used to go out in all sorts of areas around the country, and this area was called the Thames Valley Trader, to then become Autotrader. That was the biggest way of buying cars as Autotrader is now, since they've gone digital. But what would happen? You would telephone their office, they would send out someone, often a lady, part-time worker. She would come along with her Polaroid, take a photograph of the car. You'd be given a form and something like 50 characters to use to write your advert. And those were the days where we had to abbreviate central locking to CL, electric windows to EW. You get the picture? That would go off, be typeset, and the magazine would then come out on a Thursday morning, and people would rush down, buy the magazine, and they would phone up the person that was selling the car. They'd have a conversation, arrange to go and look at the car and often buy it. And if you didn't sell your car by the weekend, that was highly unusual. These days, there are so many more methods to communication, but I just don't understand why. Are we going backwards? We've got this thing, the mobile phone. You just tap in 11 digits and you can speak to someone anywhere in the world. Really, literally as simple as that. Now, I get there are different types of dealers, and in fact, I watched a video from one of the other YouTube channels, really nice guy, Cubic Cars Rob, big up to you. He made a very controversial video. At least it became controversial because his video was things not to say to a car dealer. Some of them I agreed with, some of them I didn't, but he got an awful lot of hate. And what was interesting to me is once he got a few hateful comments, then it just went further and further and further and further. People didn't really get what he was trying to say. He then came back with a very brave video the following day, doubling down on exactly why he said what he did, and maybe just explaining in more detail. And then the love was tremendous. We see what you're saying, you know, you get the picture. So there are different types of dealer, and what I would like to convey is those differences and the ways to perhaps approach the different types of dealer. So you've got your guy that sells from a pub car park or on the side of the road, maybe one or two off his driveway. Now I'm a driveway dealer, hands up, but it's a slightly different scenario in my case. Those are people that you need to call up and go and see the car. Then you have maybe a small forecourt. Well, of course, with a forecourt, you can just call in, browse, have a chat. The car that you've gone to see may not be the car that you end up buying. They might have something else. Then you have a slightly bigger dealer or a specialist dealer. You then have a main dealer. Those are the places to go for test drives. I had a phone call only last week. The blue Z4 I had, the girl said, I'm interested in buying an Audi TT, but I think I might want the Z4 as well, so can I come and drive yours? Well, no, you can't drive my car. I'm not here set up for test drives. If you'd like to buy my car, of course you can. Drive it as far as you like. But we did a video about test drives once before, and that didn't go too well for me, did it? Or should I say it did. It got the most views that we've ever had. And then, of course, you've got car supermarkets where they really don't care. They're just churning out metal as fast as they can. So in the case of a dealer like myself, if you phone up about a car or even express an interest by email that you maybe want to come and see it at the weekend, well, I'm going to be thinking I need to be around at the weekend. I need to be up, get the car ready, cleaned, parked, fueled for that person to come and look. So even that you've even mentioned it, there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes for someone to come and see a car, even if it's only speculatively. So those are things to bear in mind that I think might be quite useful for some people. So I had hoped to have two lovely Aston Martins for you for the forecourt this month. Sadly, neither have materialised. One of them would have been a part exchange, but the other was a car that was offered to me from a channel viewer and subscriber, and we've gone a long way down the line agreeing terms for that. And then all of a sudden, into thin air, he vanishes, doesn't respond to text messages, doesn't pick up the phone. In fact, when I did ring him, he hit the decline button. So that was rather bizarre. I'd like to know what happened there if you're watching, because I know you do watch the videos. Um, been offered a couple of other nice cars, can't mention at the moment because don't want to tempt fate. They may or may not come. But to that extent, I am now again, as I always am, but even more so, looking for stock. Nice cars, from a Fiat to a Ferrari, from an Alfa to an Aston Martin. As long as they're nice cars, then I'm incredibly interested to stock your car or sell it on sale or return, if that is your preference, because you want more for it. But there are people that want out of their cars, and I have my buying boots on and ready to buy. And in that instance, of course, an email is most appropriate, because you'll be emailing to give me your registration number, your mileage, your service history, condition, tyre brand, etc. And so it's traditionally a quieter time of year now as we move into August. I'm going to take an opportunity to pop to Spain for a week, see my friends and family out there. So any emails that you do send, please wait 24 hours for reply. I'll still be attending to my emails, and of course my phone is always on if you want to chat. And if you're going away yourselves, hope you all have a lovely holiday. Look after yourselves wherever you're going. Slap that tanning lotion on. Don't drink too much. Have a wonderful time. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on liking and subscribing. Hitting those buttons and notifications really means a lot to me and helping me grow the channel. And hopefully I'll have some more content for you. Potentially another road trip coming up later next month. So look out for that as well. So thank you very much once again. See you in August.